All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The Houston Rockets won again. Another game here. What is it? The NBA Cup, 116-88. Now, yeah, I get it, man. Portland's not the best team in the NBA, but this is a cup game. Very important as far as getting out of here, getting into the final bracket, or getting in. You get what I'm saying. Really good, just team domination win, and this is something we've just been lacking in the last couple of seasons. Usually these wins are kind of nitty gritty. Happy to come away with these victories. We got OG Joshua George in the chat. Appreciate you, man. We had a phenomenal pod, man. Thank you for tuning in last time a couple of days ago after that Pacers win. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate guys like Josh. We post these on streaming sites as always. The links down below, or just type in "Let's Talk Rockets" with like Jackson Ostro in your streaming site. With links down below there. You guys give me so much energy. Josh, you give me so much energy. I appreciate you tuning in here every single time we do this. Third in the West, man. It's crazy. I was counting it. I think the Rockets have now won 7 of their last 8, although math is kind of difficult. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I'm not good at math. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of their last 8. All right, we're right. And pretty much, still not good at math, 9 of their last 11. Ooh. Whoa, whoa. 9 of their last 11. Whoa. I'm just kidding, but hit that like button because it goes a very long way. This channel's dead, man. This channel's completely dead. We kind of stopped making videos because I just have way more fun doing these live streams. I'm just now realizing that we left our drink out in the living room. We have a new setup here, and actually I kind of mess with it. Thankfully, I can't see the other side. Play More Golf t-shirt made by yours truly. We got our smart looking glasses on here. Actually, these are blue light glasses that serve probably zero utility. I'm going to go grab that drink. So in the meantime, we're going to pretend, even though Josh is literally the only person watching here. Josh will be back in the next 30 seconds. But if you're listening to this post stream, we're 50 plays away from 1,000. Click that link down below and at least give it a follow. And it goes a long way. But we're going to pretend for 30 seconds that this is a countdown. All right, we're back. This setup is weird. I just threw a rug in here. If you guys are like OG Houston Rocket Daily supporters or viewers or whatever, there's fucking my lady leaves hair. Fucking, oh my god, it's like a fucking dog. When I was in my last year of college and we were really ramping these up, because I used to do these on Will Upton, and we were really ramping up this channel. I had this thing where I wanted to get this channel to 1,000 subs and get it monetized in like 30 days. And we did it. And the Rockets, freaking sucked. This was 2022. And my setup, man, setup was nasty. So I got a plant or whatever the hell that salt lamp. I technically have a bookshelf. I don't know why the bookshelf has that color. It should be flipped. I wish I kind of realized that. That's how it's supposed to be made. But whatever. This setup is stupid. I got a stupid fucking shadow here. What's that thing you do with like birds? Something like that. 116-88. Folks, it was complete utter domination right from the get-go. The Houston Rockets were up 31-20 after the first quarter. They put up 34 to Portland's 25 in the second. I mean, it really was never close. There's good. It's mainly good. There is some bad here. Like Jabari, man. And this is why the NBA is so weird, but I don't want to start with the bad here. Let me take a sip of this. Dillon Brooks, I think, had 16 points. I think it was like 6 or 7 from downtown in the third quarter. He had 28 total points. He had 5 rebounds. He only played 24 minutes. He had 28 points in 5 minutes or 24 minutes. I think Dillon put up yeah, 4 points in the Indianapolis win and then 5 points in Milwaukee. So it kind of goes hand in hand, actually, what I was going to say with Jabari. Like, Jabari had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 0 assists. He was 2 of 7 from the field. He was 1 of 3 from downtown. The longest a starter played was Jalen Green, who played 29, but it was a domination game. I think maybe a couple of starters were in there early on in the fourth. Don't quote me on that, but it was a blowout. I mean, 16 plus 12 is 28. It was a 28-point victory. So, you get it. It wasn't Jabari's night. But like we kind of see with Dillon, and you don't critique Dillon Brooks scoring 4 points, 5 points for a game or two because Dillon's not a known scorer, or he's not going to put up. He can put up 20 if he wants, or he could put up 20 if he's having a night. But there's also going to be games where Dillon Brooks' impact is defensively, and he's going to put up 4 points, 5 points, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points. You get the point. Jabari is a little bit different because he's in his third season here, and he's the third overall pick, and our expectations, kind of their expectations. So we want him to play a lot better than 5 points in a basketball game. But that's kind of what I'm getting at with like football versus basketball, where you play 82 games and no player ever, even LeBron James, even Michael Jordan. I wasn't around during then. Maybe not Michael Jordan, but probably Michael Jordan. But LeBron has bad nights. I'm not trying to compare Dillon Brooks or Jabari Smith Jr. to LeBron, but I'm not here to overreact. So Jalen Green really got it going. He had 17 points, 6 of 17 from the field, 3 of 10 from downtown. That was pretty much all in the first half. And this is a game where I guarantee you I could look on Twitter right now and be like, what's happening to 4? Man, what's going on to 4? Oh, man, what happened to 4, man? His first 6 games were so good. And you watch tonight's game and you're like, Jalen Green did just fine. In fact, Jalen Green did more than enough. And Jalen Green was a huge part for the first half success, which ultimately led to this blowout. The huge storyline you're going to see is Dillon Brooks on a night, on a heater. And like phenomenal example, Freddie Double V, Rockford's finest, 2 points. He had 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, 0-2 from the field. He took 2 attempts. He took 1 from downtown, but you're not going to sit here and ridicule Freddie Double V's offensive performance tonight because he won by 28 points. So you just kind of got to deal with games like this. Like Sengun had 14, 9, and 3. It was just one of those games where Dillon Brooks was on a heater, specifically in the third, but Tari Eason and Amen Thompson stole the show. They really did. Amen chipped in with 10 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. You almost have to take a breath when you're going through an Amen Thompson stat line and Tari. Amen had 3 steals. He had 2 blocks. He was a plus 26. Tari Eason was a plus 23. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 14 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown. He played 21 minutes. Tari Eason just had 22 points in 21 minutes. He had 2 steals. Like we said, he was a plus 33. This was the definition of a team effort. And so I don't want to see it. I'm sure you're going to see it. I try to not see it. I try to not spend too much time on Rockets Twitter. Go follow Let's Talk Rockets on Twitter because I'm tweeting. We're tweeting out here. But this was just a team win. And, hopefully there's no backlash because there really shouldn't be. And this was an NBA Cup game. The NBA Cup is still very weird. It's still very weird's the wrong word. It's still very interesting. It's very new. It's in his second season. Didn't the Lakers win it last season? Lakers didn't do anything. So take it with a grain of salt, but obviously there's huge incentives cash-wise for winning the NBA Cup, and I'm going to take this victory every day of the week. And then I believe tomorrow night we're back in Houston taking on Portland. Yep, back in Houston tomorrow night taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Scoop played. I was kind of thinking almost Portland kind of reminds me of Houston 3 years ago, but at the same time not really because just not really, Houston 3 years ago was very interesting with a lot of young kids and also a couple of veterans. Portland's a real interesting, weird team, but they're still 6-10. It's not the end of the world for Portland, and obviously they're a couple of years behind. But I threw out a tweet. Let me pull it up here. This team reminds me a lot of. So we get compared, Sengun gets compared to Jokic. the Rockets get compared to the Oklahoma City Thunder all the time, and Thunder fans love to kind of throw it in your face that we're on different tiers, but it's kind of reminiscent of that OKC team last season. Let me see if I can throw up a Rockets background. Guys, we have one viewer here. Shout out to that one viewer. Hit that like button if you don't mind. We're going to go with Jabari. We're going to remain faithful to our man, Jabari Smith Jr. This ends a little too much. But, yeah, great win. Great team win. I don't really know what else there is to say. It was just – there were a couple of – and, Reed played good. Steven Adams played good. I think they both showed up in the plus-minus. I think they were both, plus 15, plus 16 around there. I'm kind of done with my phone, done with statistics here. But now it was just a phenomenal team win, and the Rockets were all over. Let's actually get into team stats here because the Rockets shot pretty well from downtown tonight. All right, and Portland shot 33%, and the defense is everywhere. I mean, the defense is everywhere. So on the screen here, if you're listening to it in audio version, the Rockets are a huge threat, and I'm trying to be a little bit over dramatic here because 151 followers. But the Rockets are a huge threat, man. Literally the Thunder of last season, and everyone, not Rockets fans, wanted them to ship the farm for Giannis or Butler. And I still think it's a pretty fair take. We got a chat here from Redmond. So before we get into the chat, and throw them in, dude. You guys give me so much energy. It's why we do it. We do these live for a specific reason. So shout out to Josh. Shout out to Redmond here. Oh, we got a Sixers fan. Redmond's a Sixers fan. Oh, hell yeah. Would Rockets trade Embiid for Şengün and picks? I personally wouldn't do that. I love Joel Embiid. I think he's a really good basketball player. I don't really know what's going on in Philly as far as the drama goes with – I got Jared McCain in fantasy basketball, so I'm chilling here. I know Paul George is banged up, missing 2 games or whatever. Maxi's back. Joel Embiid is – the issue with big men like that is longevity. And so I personally wouldn't even do that trade, especially if I'm giving up picks, which sounds probably shitty to you, where it's you should give me picks for Embiid. And I'm not really even trying to say that. I'm just saying I don't really think it makes sense. If this was 2K, we can have a conversation for sure, but it's not 2K. So I'm pretty much all set on Joel. What's that old adage? We used to say it on the NBA show all the time. Availability is – there's something with availability, and that's, really what I look for. Joel Embiid, I'm not sure he's healthy. Chicago Bulls, I'm not sure Levine's healthy. Those are 2 completely different team situations, but you get the point here. I want availability, man, and I know Şengün's going to give me availability, and with Joel Embiid, I'm just not really sure with the availability. I'm just not quite sure there, and unfortunately, man, for your Sixers, I'm definitely not trying to rag on your Sixers, but if Joel want a chip, 76ers want a chip maybe, but honestly, still probably not. So I'm sorry. I don't mean that to be rude. But yeah, I'm all set there. Availability is the best ability. There we go. Well said. There, and you get Redmond's right there too. Best ability is availability. All right. You think we could get that one spot? They certainly have the legs for it. And so one thing I noticed tonight, once the Rockets rotation gets deeper and you get into Unc Jeff and you get into Jae'Sean Tate, and Jae'Sean probably gets a lot of flack. Sometimes I forget Jae'Sean Tate's even still on this basketball team. Obviously, Aaron Holiday, you could get deeper with, Cam Whitmore. That bench is huge. One thing in the Rockets' favor in an insane fashion, might I add, through 17 games this season is health. And that was one of the big things. That was one of my big arguments with the Rockets last season is I thought as teams like the Clippers or like Golden State or, like the Lakers or like the Suns, my thought process was the Rockets' young legs were going to be able to propel them for an entire 82-game season. And for the most part, it did. But, Jalen, Şengün, mainly injury. They have the legs for the 1 seed. The recent comparison for this Houston Rockets team is like the Pistons when they won it in the early 2000s, and I really like it. Like, the thing is, you do need stars to win a championship in today's era as far as I'm concerned, but at the same time, Jason Tatum's supposed to be a superstar. Jason Tatum's supposed to be like that dude, and you watched, the Boston Celtics win that championship last season, and they're just so good top to bottom. And you see, Jaylen Brown, but obviously guys like Derek White, and it goes a really long way. And so I really would like the Rockets to just stay put this season. And the reason I mentioned Jayshawn Tate specifically is because you could probably come up with some type of package deal with, like, a second round draft pick, or if you're going for a more rotational player like a first and Jayshawn Tate, and maybe get like some type of shooter or whatever. I'm not a GM, but my point is, I don't want the Rockets to do, at this point, we're only 17 games in the season. I don't really want them to do anything because I know there's going to be some point where Jabari Smith Jr., Dylan Brooks, Elton Şengün, Jalen Green, Freddie W. There's going to be some point where somebody rolls an ankle, somebody gets banged up, and I want Jayshawn Tate, and I want Jeff Green, and I want Jock Landale, and I want Aaron Holiday, and I want Cam Whitmore, and I want all these depth players because I know them, and I know what they can do. So I'm pretty much completely all set on a trade, but we're 17 games into a season. I'm not a GM, and the reason we're getting into this is Christopher just commented, "What's up, dude? Give me Booker." Ooh. This setup, man. I wish you guys could see. I could technically show you the other side. It's rough. It is absolutely rough. Give me Booker. Not interested in these other old dudes. So I think a good avenue to get a guy like Devin Booker's. First of all, if you guys watched the NBA show, I am hugely anti-Phoenix Suns, and it sucks because I love Devin Booker. I love Kevin Bleepin Durant, and I like Bradley Beal, and I actually liked their offseason a lot. But I do think Devin Booker, as Christopher said here, I think Devin Booker is probably the best route when the Rockets hopefully make playoffs or surpass teams in the play-in. Hopefully we're not at that stage. We're third in the West, like Josh said. So I think a Devin Booker trade, if you get into the playoffs. And so, for example, right now you're the 3 seed. So you're taking on the 6 seed. And let me just go to the handy conferences that is never updated here on CBS Sports. Yeah, it's not updated right now. So pre-update from tonight, the Phoenix Suns are the 6th team. I personally don't really want to play the Phoenix Suns, but let's say you play the Phoenix Suns and you lose in 5, 6, 7. I actually guess it does matter a little bit, but let's say you lose to Phoenix as the 3 seed in 5 games. How you lose matters, and I think just given this a full season, like obviously if the Suns like our first round exit, I mean, they're probably blowing it up in some fashion. I'd like to give it a playoff series because I haven't seen them play in a playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if Jalen Green plays how he's played in the last 10 games and not the first 6 games, but you win a playoff series? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in an era of instant gratification in general. And so I kind of am just posted here. I don't know why Corey Kispert's coming to my mind right now, but some type of 3-point shooter I do think would be very beneficial to this team. And I do think we will learn quickly enough in the next, the trade deadline is not for a long time, but I do think we will learn, like we're 17 games. I've always said, give them about 15 to 20 games to kind of learn the team. I think a very similar like NFL example would be right now you kind of know what a team is. You kind of know what they're not. The Steelers lost last night to the Cleveland Browns. It's surprising, but it's not shocking. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers probably aren't going to win the championship, but they've got, old-ass quarterback, not a great Rockets comparison here, but an upgrade can be made. I'm not trying to make an upgrade right here, right now, but I do think by the end of December, you'll see somewhere you could upgrade. In our last stream, I was really ranting about how big midseason trades don't make a huge impact or an impact really at all, in my opinion. But I do think a lower rotational guy could make an impact. So Devin Booker to me would be a dude if honestly, I don't even really have an opinion because I think I just have to see this team play in the playoffs, you know? All right, Howard. I knew Fred VanVleet in high school, told him I would bet on him making it to the NBA. No lie. Hell yeah, Howard. What else you got? What else you got for me? Anything I can bet on? Who's winning the chip? Our original snap. I agree. A supplemental trade for a shooter would fit the team better than a big name star. 100%. It's 100%. And yeah, and I forget I had this tweet on the board here. I said everyone, not Rockets fans, wanted to trade the farm, ship the farm out for Giannis or Butler to get that team to the next level. And I compared them to OKC in the sense of OKC was a 50-win team last year, and we're similar in the sense of, oh, well, you don't have a Shea. And it's like, I think Şengün's a Shea in a certain level, but Shea's a top player in the NBA. I'm not going to do rankings here because I don't really know, and I'm not the guy to ask for rankings, but I wanted, the OKC Thunder in the playoffs last year didn't execute, but at the same time, OKC Thunder fans are not saying, oh, we didn't execute, so we got to go out there and make a big ass trade. It's, oh, we saw the year before we won 50 games. So in 2022, we saw it just like us Rocket fans saw last season going 41-41. So I'm going to give it the season. And OKC still didn't make a big ass trade in the offseason. Now, granted, they have an unbelievable amount of draft picks, and a lot of those are looking nicey. So is Houston. All right, guys, keep hitting that like button. Keep throwing comments down here. You guys are carrying me. I appreciate you, everyone in here, watching, commenting, all the above. Landry Shamet, everyone. So I like Landry. My question would be not necessarily to Christopher, but who are you trading for Landry Shamet / more of who's losing a role? Or is anybody losing a role? So for tonight's example, we ran primarily a nine-man rotation. And I would say with a lot of midseason acquisitions, what is his role in the playoffs? And this is all hypothetical, of course. I'm not saying trade for Landry or don't trade for Landry. Do you think a Landry Shamet is needed in the regular season? I think there's a very real argument he could be, or he is. But I think there's also an argument through 17 games that he's not. So I'm probably personally, so let's see, we're at 17. I say give him 25 because I do think if you're going to make a trade, I wouldn't wait for the deadline. So if I'm giving him 25 and we got 7 games left here, 4 left in the month of November, and then you'd go 3. So we'd only be looking at December 8th until 25 games are hit. Will we know enough about this team by December 8th after playing 7 games? Honestly, probably, because you kind of look at the schedule here. So you got Portland on Saturday. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. How's Minnie looking this year? They're 8-7, but people were trying to convince me that they won that trade all offseason. And I was thinking, if you watched a Knicks playoff game, are you sure you won that trade? But then you could also make the argument, have you seen a T-Wolves playoff game? So you got, honestly, this the end of this month looks pretty nice. You got Portland on Saturday, on the road against Minnesota next Tuesday, back-to-back on the road against Philly on Wednesday. And then we take a little bit of break for Thanksgiving. And now that I'm actually kind of eyeballing this, I would say by December, what's going on from Sunday the 8th to Sunday, December 8th to the Rockets don't play a basketball game from December 8th to December 19th. Is that like an NBA Cup thing? I would assume. as you guys know, I didn't really watch enough basketball last season as far as the whole NBA scale goes. So I'm going to assume that's what that little stretch is there. So, for example, the Rockets are starting the month of December home against Oklahoma City, on the road against Sacramento, on the road against Golden State, and then on the road against the Clippers. And then I would assume the NBA Cup is there for the next 11 days. You actually probably have a firm idea of this team in the next 7 basketball games, because the end of this month, relatively easy, but nothing is easy. But you've got OKC, Sacramento, Golden State, and the Clippers. And I think 20 games into the season, which is when that stretch would be, and 3 of those games are on the road. The only home game that I just mentioned is OKC. I do think you'll probably have a firm idea of limitations or ceiling, floor. My only thing is, who would have got like Landry? Is there even like necessarily a replacement? Like, Reed Shepherd played 16. Steven Adams played 14. It's kind of hard to evaluate a game like this because Holiday played 8. McVay played 3. Landale played 6, but he played a lot more in the other game. Shock played 8. Jeff Green played 7. It was a garbage time game. So I'm open to most of these ideas. I just personally, I think 7 is probably a really good barometer, but let's just figure this out now, man. Keep throwing comments, questions, opinions down below. NBA Cup. I want to see this NBA Cup here, because if the NBA Cup, like we were saying right now, is at the end of that 7-game stretch, then you go through the NBA Cup, and depending on how you did in those 7 games in the NBA Cup, then I do think you'll actually have obviously a much better idea here. All right, let's get this tweet out. I fucking love this fucking Salt Land, man. I think it's a baller. I got some paintings. I want to put here. My mom just blessed me with an early Christmas present of a white Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey. If you guys don't know, I'm a diehard Green Bay Packers fan, and Aaron Rodgers will always be my GOAT. It's obviously not better than Brady as far as success goes, but we're not getting into this. Luke Kennard, I do really like that, because we were saying this in the last stream. The Rockets aren't shooting. They're shooting middle of the pack. They're not making them anywhere close to top 10, and they're not percentage-wise because of the attempts. I'll just pull it up. I don't think this will be updated I'm on StatMuse here. So this is pre-tonight, and we talked about this in the last stream. They're 26th in three-pointers made, less than 12. They're 27th in three-point percentage, but they're 18th in 3 points attempted, which, honestly, probably we're in a 3-ball era, so 18th in attempts, honestly, probably isn't even enough to get it done. But when you're rebounding like you're rebounding tonight, or you're defending like you're defending tonight, let's see. Technically, the Houston Rockets only won the rebound battle 66-59. The free throw woes, I swear, have been a nagging issue ever since I started making Houston Rockets content in 2020 with James frickin' Harden. I feel like, and I'm on StatMuse, so let me look at the free throw percentage. 27th in free throw percentage, man. Like, it's just the basics to me. All right. We got an article here if you're listening audibly. NBA Cup is back for year 2. The 2022 in-season tournament started November 12th. Oh, wow. Golden State can become the first team to advance to knockout rounds by beating the Pelicans on Friday. When was this article written? 10 hours ago. Isn't today Friday? And didn't they just win? So are the Rockets in the NBA Cup knockout round? 76ers, Wizards, Pellies face elimination. All right. And I'm sure one of you knows the answers to this. Games taking place November 12th to December 8th. The winner of each group based on round robin. I would love playing round robin as a little kid. And point differential is a tiebreaker if needed. Will advance to the knockout stage. Blah, blah, blah. Skeptics. $500,000 per player prize. Lakers claimed the crown. Tyrese broke out as a superstar. None of that is what I'm looking for. And here we go. All right. Just like we had anticipated, the NBA Cup is after this 7-game stretch where the first 3 are relatively easily starting tomorrow against Portland. And then you get into a couple of West Coast big boys on the road. And so I would say let's give it a month. I would say 100% let's give it a month. We have quarterfinals on December 10th and December 11th. And then we got the semis on the 14th. And then we got the finals on the 17th. So here are the groups. And just like we had just mentioned, so Tuesday, one of you guys told me that the NBA Cup is Tuesday and Friday because I never really understand that. We have a NBA Cup game on Tuesday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, sorry, this is annoying. This desk is loud. And then we're going to get the Kings on Tuesday, December 3rd. And then I assume on Sunday against the Clippers. No, we already beat the Clippers. So Houston's 2-0. And I feel pretty confident taking on the Sacramento Kings and the Minnesota Timberwolves. If tonight didn't clinch, that they would clinch that. Let's take a look. 2024 NBA Cup odds. Knicks are favored to win the NBA Cup. Aren't the Knicks not playing good basketball right now? Tibbs, you guys know I'm Chicago born and bred. This dude loves playing basketball players for like 40 minutes a night. He loves it. The Rockets aren't even in the top 6 as far as FanDuel Sportsbook goes. Oh, this was November 14th. A lot has changed there. So there we go. I'm going to give it a month. All right, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Everyone who live chatted especially. But thank you guys for tuning in, watching this, listening to it, commenting to it. Hit the like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. We're pretty much streaming after every Rockets game on a Friday night like this. I'll do it live, but I play a 4-game week. Hard to do it live after every game. It's only 10:53 here in Florida, but thank you everyone for tuning in. And if you're watching this post live, check out the link down below in the description of this stream because we post these on streaming sites, or type in Let's Talk Rockets with probably Jackson Ostro. So thank you guys for tuning in. Nice Rockets win. And we'll probably see you soon. Oh, Rocks play tomorrow. See you soon. Peace.